Good evening, everyone. I hope you are all having a really amazing week so far. I just wanted to come on because one of my best friends and I were having such a good talk today about something that has just really been on my mind, with a lot of the stuff that we're being distracted with and the stuff that we're seeing come up right now. And it was this whole concept of let's stop putting people in these boxes and labeling everybody, because when it all comes down to it, who is it that is creating these boxes, and who is it that says that you go in this one and you go in that one, and it's just the more and more that we put labels on each other, that we put each other in boxes, it just causes more separation between us, right? And again, divides us in a certain way. And then it puts you in this this idea that who created, I don't know, but that somebody has created, that now we're stuck in this, and then you don't have this ability to be yourself, and you don't have this ability to think a different way because you're stuck in this label or this box. And there's some things like my friend brought up today. The answer isn't always either black or white. Like sometimes there's a gray area, and sometimes, you may be listening to somebody and how they view something, or how they resonate with something, and then all of a sudden everything that you've ever known may start to change, or you might start to question things, and that's what coming at things with an open heart, without judgment, just holding space for someone. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to change your viewpoint on something, and not that you should, right? But maybe it will help you to think differently. I mean, when we look at all the systems that we are under, it's not hard to realize after these 3 years, those that can see, that they're all corrupt. They have all been infiltrated. None of them are to actually help us as a human race, right? It is all to have power over us, to divide us, control us. So I mean, there's a lot of these systems, religion being a big one of them, that there's a lot of people that don't want to stop what they have been taught, indoctrinated, everything that they believe in. They don't want to stop and question it, right? And that's where we get into trouble, when we don't question things, right? We just go with what we are being told. And when I look at a lot of the things growing up in school, I grew up religious, and then even after high school, I chose on myself to be, I guess at that it was called born again Christian. So I really jumped into the faith. So I know I get the whole religious part of it. It's not a part that isn't something that I understand, but once I truly found source, God, in me, and that realization that he is a part of each and every one of us, it wasn't hard for me to start realizing that all of these things that I just didn't resonate with, or that I questioned, that I was taught, was the one and only way and the truth. I was able to really start opening up my mind to different things out there, and to learning different things, and to seeing what do I actually resonate with, what makes sense to me, right? And that's where each and every one of us are on our own journey. And when you give somebody a label, which I remember when I was a born again Christian, which again, there's a label, I always would call myself this bohemian Christian, because I was well, I believe in, in God. I believe in this and that, but I don't believe in that. And this part I question. And I definitely believe in yoga and energy and healing and all these things that I was told I wasn't allowed to believe in. And again, that's where I feel we fall into this this area of like trying to control people and trying to say how that they should be thinking, opposing to letting people come to their own truth, right? And living what their truth is. And again, we can live amongst each other and honor other people's truth and still have compassion for them, you know, and maybe we disagree on things, but that doesn't mean that we have to like come to this place that we've come to of like cancel culture and, you know, just totally having outright like arguments with people, belittling them, calling them names, pushing them out of like what things that they once felt a part of. And, you know, with all these different things, you know, whether they're distractions or whether they're, you know, topics that we should maybe be talking about or be open more about, it's just, it is dividing people, right? And it's putting this like pressure on people again to once feel like they can't speak their truth or they can't be truly who they are without like having somebody attack you. And we just, it goes back to remembering that if we are triggered by what somebody is saying, that is our trigger to work through, right? That is for us to look at and for us to figure out what's going on there. And if we truly don't like something and don't resonate with something, then stop like following that person or listening to that person or like scroll on by wherever you're seeing it, right? Like I think we've really forgotten this whole like, you know, if this doesn't resonate with me, then I don't have to give it any energy. And we've like forgotten that, like, right? We feel like we, or not we, but like I feel like a big part of society feels like they have to cancel this, right? Like I don't agree with this and this now needs to be canceled, and that's simply not true, right? There are gray areas. And yeah, just wanted to share that little bit that, like I said, one of my best friends and I were talking about today, and it's been something that's been on my heart and on my mind, and it was just nice to be able to bounce that off with her. So wanted to share that with the rest of you and just kind of see where you guys are feeling with things like that, with a lot of the stuff that's coming up that we're seeing right now out there. So hope you guys have a wonderful evening and enjoy the rest of the night.